right, welcome back to the Impact Success Podcast. I'm Aaron Zapata, your host. Today we've got Tricia Gray with Impact Properties out of our Nashville office. She's going to come to us and talk to us about the process of moving from California to Tennessee and share those insights that are valuable for other realtors to listen to, but also more importantly for clients. And if you've had the privilege of working with her, you know it's a great joy and an honor to work with her. So with that, I'm going to say welcome to the show, Tricia Gray. Welcome.
Thank you, Aaron.
Well, it's great to have you on the show today. Yeah, it's great to have you here today. So tell me, you are in Nashville, and tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your background, and talk to me about that whole process of getting into real estate.
Okay. Well, we are here in Tennessee now, but I was born and raised in California. And in California, I was a residential appraiser for many years. And I also worked at a design center, helping people with their home remodels. I just love everything about homes. And so when we got out here to Tennessee, I got my real estate license, and I've been able to help many Californians already make their way over here. And it's great because I've been through it, and I can just help them with a lot of the details along the way.
Well, you have been through it personally. You know what it's like. I was thinking about that. You and I have talked about your story, and I know some details about it. And, you kind of did it in a stair-step fashion. I mean, you moved out there before your husband did. Would you share a little bit about that? Because sometimes it's a process that families go through, and it's not the easiest one, and you have a unique one, but I don't think it's that unique. Tell us what happened in your situation.
Right. I have heard other people doing what we did, and sometimes you just need to do that. So my husband was just had a few more months before he could retire from Riverside County Sheriff, and he needed to stay those 2 months or those several months. I think I was out here maybe 5 months with my daughter before he came out. So he was living in California. I was here. He flew back about once a month, but we just needed to do that so he could get a little more retirement.
Well, and that is an interesting thing about moving across state that you have to consider, right? Is jobs and everything like that. So you guys found a way to make it work, even though it was inconvenient for 5 months not having your husband with you. But everything's great now, right? Everything's awesome. Yeah. He's there. Yeah. He's fully there full time.
Yeah.
So tell us, what do you love about Tennessee?
Oh, well, I think first and foremost, the people are so kind everywhere we go, very friendly and beyond helpful. I personally love the weather, even though I've only known California is perfect weather. I really appreciate the variation in weather here, and it's mild. It's nothing. I mean, when it snows, it's just enough to be fun. So I appreciate the variation. I love the scenery. Even the highways are gorgeous. There's a lot of history here, and there's a lot of things to do outdoors. We both love to be outdoors. A lot of our friends do the kayaking. There's a lot of waterways out here. We have a horse ranch. There's a lot of horses. We see cyclists. There's hiking. There's just a lot to do here. There's something for everyone.
Absolutely. And, we find that a lot of people are moving for a number of different reasons, whether it be the political environment or policies or people. We find that most people right now, number one reason people are moving is to be closer to people that they love. Family members have moved, kids have moved, and they've taken the grandkids with them. Have you seen that happening with your clients as well?
I do. I'm helping some clients buy a second home in Clarksville, which is just a little bit north of Nashville, and all of their kids will be there. All of the grandkids will be there. We're slowly getting them all there. It's you can get a lot for your money there. So that's been a fun process.
Great. Well, walk me through some of the challenges. Okay, you've helped buyers go through this process, and I know you have clients or prospective clients that are be watching this. What are some challenges that buyers are going through right now when buying in Tennessee? Whether or not they're coming from California, Texas, somewhere else, all buyers are facing the same challenge. What are some of those challenges?
Well, if you have a good job where you are, typically you want to keep that job until your loan closes if you have a loan before you go. A challenge I would say is that the market is so hot here in Tennessee. It's great to have all cash. Those seem to be the winning deals right now, but there are ways around that through bridge loans and other avenues I can help my buyers with. Other challenges would be maybe movers. I can help you, give you some wisdom with your moving companies. And really, sometimes I think people struggle with, oh, but I'm leaving family, I'm leaving all that I know. But what we have found is we have had, so all of my family, except for my daughter, is still in California. But when people come to visit, when my family comes to visit, which we're only 25 minutes from the Nashville airport, so it's very, very easy. Our time together is so quality, where even though we were living together in California, so close, I really only saw them at birthdays and holidays. I feel like our time together now is more quality.
That's fascinating. I never thought about that, but you're right, because now it becomes a special time, and they're not coming just for 3 hours for a party. They're coming for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and you really get to go deeper in those times together, it sounds like.
Right, exactly.
So that's a fascinating thing that people do need to recognize, is that even though you're moving, maybe you're the first mover in the family, that when they come see each other, when they come to your house, it'll be much, much more meaningful.
Right.
So what kind of expectations should buyers have right now? If they're coming out there to do home shopping, Tricia, and they're calling you up and they said, Tricia, we want to go look at houses. What are you going to set up for them as expectations?
Typically what I do is I have learned to be a very good listener over the years, and I will talk with them extensively over the phone to find out really what they're looking for, all the ins and outs. I want to hear all the stories, all the preferences, because that helps me hone in on the perfect property. I will set them up on an MLS listing, the listings that come to their email. So way ahead of time, they can see all the different areas that they're considering, and you get a feel for what you like and what you don't like. So when you do make the trip out here to drive around, we can focus on those areas and then see them in person. So, and then even if on that trip, they don't find exactly the home, maybe nothing's on the market that they're looking for at the time, they still know the areas they like. So if something pops up once they go back, I can go tour it for them, FaceTime tour. I do a lot of those with my out-of-state clients, and we can still win properties that way.
And some of the buyers are nervous about buying houses, quote unquote, sight unseen. Can you walk me through that FaceTime tour, a little bit more about what that looks like? Because obviously, we would never recommend in the real estate industry that somebody buy a house completely sight unseen. So walk us through that process. You kind of mentioned it there.
Right. And it's a little bit, I mean, it's kind of necessary out here because things go so quickly. So I make the touring appointment. I get the family on FaceTime, and we just walk through the house, inside, outside. I go as slowly as they want. We focus on areas that are important to them. And, oh, I want to see that again. Can you show me that room again? We do that. I will even videotape driving through the neighborhoods all around, so they can see what the neighborhoods are like too, because that is important. Since they're not here, if they still have kids in school, I can say, oh, the nearest school is here, nearest grocery shopping is here. I try to be their eyes and ears if they're not here to tour in person.
Well, and what percentage of the people come out there and get their offer accepted the first time they're out? Is it a high percentage, or half, or 50-50? Not a lot. You know what I'm saying? The first time they're out there, they're shopping. Ta-da, we got it all done in one weekend. Is that normal?
Well, it's all different. So in fact, us personally, we did 2 trips. We came out in October and looked around, fell in love. We went back home and listed our home in California that was, sold in no time. Then we flew right back out because we were going to be homeless. So we flew back out, definitely seriously looking and ready to buy. And that's how it happened for us. People come out in different phases. I think the most effective is when you're ready. Do your homework coming out before, so you know what areas you like, and then when you come out here, just be ready to make an offer.
Yeah, there's a whole discovery tour process, right? Where if you're not ready, why don't you just spend some time, come out, go tour areas, don't call up a realtor, just go see it, right? Just see if you like what you see. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you've weeded out probably 75% of the areas, focus in on a few, that's when you would contact someone like yourself. Is that right?
Yes, yes, yeah, and I'm happy to drive people around too. I love the drive. The highways are gorgeous, and I love getting out and seeing homes. So I'm happy to drive them as well.
Well, and that's a good point. I hear in the real estate industry from a lot of buyers saying, well, we didn't want to inconvenience you.
Hmm.
You know,
Well,
well, Tricia, I saw the house, but I didn't want to inconvenience you. So, and fill in the blank. They did something else other than contact you. What would you say to that, Tricia?
that's part of my job. It's part of
Yeah,
my job. I'll
right.
drive you around.
Yeah, like don't be apologetic about asking me to do my job, right?
Right,
Um,
right. And
right.
we'll have fun doing it. We
That's
will.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, if you don't follow Tricia, we'll give you some information at the end about where to find her online, but definitely encourage you to follow her on Instagram. You can see her and her horses. So we'll get that in a second here. But Tricia, tell us, what are some mistakes that you've seen some borrowers make that we can help others who are listening to this avoid?
I was working with a family, and he actually was quit his job to find a job here because he found a job, but then that job was so new that it didn't really translate into, for a good home loan.
Mm.
So that's why I would be really in tight with your lender about timing on things. And when you're in a loan, don't buy a new car or make all those big purchases that might bump you out of a loan. um, any other mistakes?
Well, and I'll just I'll hit on that there with you, Tricia, is some
Mhm.
buyers make the mistake of selling their house, California, having a lot of cash. And so they think, oh, no problem. Like I'm going to use 200,000 for a down payment. And then I'm going to use 15,000 to go buy the car I've always wanted. And all of a sudden they've got an increase in car payment on their credit and a potentially decrease in an income on a new job. And those offsetting factors can take a borrower's ability to borrow, let's say 900,000 or 500,000 and cut it in half, right?
Right, right. The other thing too, I hear a lot of people lately saying, well, we'll just go out to Tennessee and rent for a while and then we'll buy. And I completely see why they want to do that, but I would not recommend it just because the prices are going up so quickly. I mean, it can really jump up from month to month and you may be priced out of what you were looking for. So I will do the homework for them and we'll be in it together, and we'll find what they want when they're ready.
Yeah, and we're recording this in the first quarter of 2022. We know interest rates have gone up a little bit. We don't know where they're going to be later in the year, but that also has an effect on the borrower's ability to purchase. Is that correct?
Right. Yep. Pay attention to interest rates. Correct. Yep.
Yep. And if a house value is going up $5,000 to $8,000 a month, which in many cases it is, right, in Nashville markets, one of the
Yeah.
fastest growing markets in the country,
Right.
then you might be priced out within 5 months because
Right.
that may add an extra 25 to $40,000 in home value to the houses
Right.
that you're looking at. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And just a reminder, they don't have to be here to make the offer. Like I can be here and we do everything remotely. I've helped 4 out-of-state families purchase just at the end of December and January, February, and they bought it all. They bought their home sight unseen, and we did it all remotely thanks to technology.
Yeah. So you did the FaceTime tours with them. You did all the home inspection. You attended the inspections. You negotiated everything. And then
Right.
once they closed it, they got out. They flew out there, got the keys.
And thankfully, they've all been thrilled.
Right. That's good. That's good. It's always nervous. You know, I own an investment property in Tennessee. I bought it the same way. And so I can agree with you that it's a little bit nerve wracking, but at the same time, values are going up. Tricia, the question that we hear often, and I'm sure you've heard this, is how much longer will prices continue to increase in Nashville?
Ooh,
Right.
we often hear predictions of a year and a half to 2 years. It will continue going this way.
And for those of you who are coming from different parts of the United States to Tennessee, you might not just be from California, because we know that part of the reason that the values are going up so high is we got people coming in from New York, Chicago, Illinois area. We've got people coming from the Northwest of Seattle and Oregon. And it seems like all these areas are migrating towards Middle Tennessee.
Right, exactly. The other benefit I forgot to mention about Tennessee is we do not have state income tax. So it's very nice for people who are retiring. Your retirement, if you have a retirement check coming in, it's not taxed.
That's great. That's great. So many states, when they sell a home, have to go through all the disclosures and escrow and title. Can you walk us through some of the steps there of what it's like to purchase so that somebody who's considering the move really understands that process?
Sure, it seems a little different in Tennessee where it's an attorney. Our escrows are done through attorneys here, and it's up to the buyers to order all of the inspections and do their due diligence. And that's where I come in. I help you navigate all of that. And there's on the closing date, they usually sit at a table, but again, with technology, we're able to do that online. So that's fine.
That's great. Yeah. So it's a buyer beware state, from what I understand. And buyers have to get all of the disclosures up front. Is that the way it works there? Before they make the offer?
Right. And they're typically, and you know what, I have found it is so lovely working with Tennessee realtors. They're very informative. They're very helpful. So that I feel like a lot of things are just, it's easy to navigate with my buyers.
Yeah, because they're bringing things to the table that maybe in other states, especially in California where you sold, that you don't find out until after you're in escrow, right? But in Tennessee, you're going to find out ahead of time on a lot of things. And so tell me about the inspection. Do you see a lot of buyers making huge requests for repairs? Is it for information only? Walk a buyer through that. What should they expect when they get a laundry list of things back on their inspection report?
Well, I learned from a very wise broker once that when you get your inspection back, it may look like the house is falling down, but really, I mean, they have to do that. They have to be very thorough and detailed like that. So, but to win offers here, you want to make it as easy for the seller as possible. So unless it's major, you might want to do for informational purposes only the inspection, or something out here we do is a pass fail. Either yes, we're going to take the house. We have this inspection report with these things that need to be done, pass fail. And sometimes you can say, oh, we're going to walk away. And even in that case, the sellers might say, wait, you know, what do you need us to do? And we'll do that. So there are many different options for that.
Awesome. Tell me, just reminisce with me for a moment. Share with us a story of one of these transactions that just brought you great joy.
Oh, there's so many. I really am loving working with this particular family from Brea, and they are the ones who are buying homes in Clarksville, and they're buying them so all of them can be together. So one of their sons will be moving there from San Diego soon. They already have one son there. They bought a home for themselves, and they just need to get one more son up here. But they get so much value up in Clarksville that they're all thrilled. They'll be very close together, and the grandkids will be there. And it's been a pleasure working with them. They're just delightful. But then I had a great family that I moved into Franklin, and so darling. And the girls are going to have they can pretty much walk to downtown Franklin. Those girls were so excited, and they'll make lots of memories. When they got here to see their house, it was snowing. So that was really fun for them. So I've just had fun with all of my clients.
Well, and that's what we do, is we really help people write the next chapters of their lives. Right. And you get to see that firsthand, and you get to see them be united as a family in Clarksville or a new start in Franklin. So that's exciting, you know. And for people listening to this, if you're looking for somebody to work with in the Nashville market, let me tell you, Tricia is a great person that you want to talk to. Tricia, give us more information about the areas that you work. Give us some of the cities.
Sure. So I'm about 25 minutes east of Nashville Airport. We live in Lebanon, Tennessee, but I can help people. So, which is considered Middle Tennessee. So I'm helping people down in the Franklin, Spring Hill, Columbia areas, and I'll go as far as up to Clarksville, which is almost to Kentucky. That's over an hour north of Nashville, and then I'll go east and west of Nashville. So I really covered the whole Nashville area.
So Nashville, Mount Juliet, right? Lebanon,
Brentwood. Yeah, I have
Brentwood.
a client looking in Brentwood right now, and that's been a lot of fun. Yeah. Yep. Mount
Very cool.
Juliet, Gallatin. Hmm.
Yeah. I know you bought in Lebanon. Is there any like secret spot, your favorite that someone should go see when they're visiting? Is there any place around you that they just have to go check it out?
Like you
Like a
mean,
restaurant or a special
oh,
place to go?
oh, well, one of our favorite restaurants in Lebanon is called Sammy B's, and it's in an old historical mansion. And the food is delicious. The atmosphere is great. Another one of my favorite cities that I haven't sold to yet, so call me if you want to move there, is Hendersonville. Beautiful and very family oriented. They have something for everyone. You just can't go wrong out here.
That's awesome. So someone's been listening to us. Now they're convinced I got to go. Where should they start? What should a buyer do to start the process?
They can call me, and my Tennessee number is 615-557-4109. My email is tricia.gray@impactprop.com. And Tricia is Tricia.gray, Gray, @impactprop.com. And I look forward to talking with you.
And are you on Instagram?
I am Tricia G. Tennessee.
Tricia G. Tennessee. I encourage you to go there. She posts pictures of her real estate, and then also she posts pictures of her horses and things like that. So if someone's looking for land, someone's looking for space, and or they're looking for a community with neighbors next door, you got it all, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, if you are looking to move, Tricia Gray is a great resource for you. She mentioned that she's got movers, she's got home inspectors,
Mhm.
and especially when you talk about loans, she's got lenders that understand the process. So before you do anything, call Tricia because she wants to make sure that your move is successful. And Tricia, thanks for being here today. Thanks for being a part of the podcast and for being on the video blog if you're watching this online. Um, I'm going to put all of her contact information in the show notes and or underneath the video on our YouTube channel. So Tricia, thanks for being here today. God bless you and your endeavors. And thanks for doing a great job in the real estate industry, serving the clients well.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Aaron.